What's up? Welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz for a Saturday/Sunday. We'll call it October 15th, 2023. You pick the day. So instant reaction from the Buckeye game. Dominant win. Can't complain about a lot, but there is still some mistakes being made. Obviously, we're always striving for perfection, but 41-7, the Buckeyes get it done, dominate, pitched a shutout in the first half. You got to love that. The defense came to play, of course. Why didn't they? Why wouldn't they? So offense started on track from Jump Street. So let's get into it. But first, we have a breaking news segment here for you. Breaking boom segment, actually. Four-star 2025 cornerback Blake Woodby commits to the Ohio State Buckeyes. We talked about Blake Woodby last week. He had his announcement ceremony today. He's a high four-star, a 9.647 rating, number 79 player in the country, number 9 corner in the country. So out of Baltimore, Maryland, St. Francis Academy. He picked Ohio State over Oregon, Clemson, Tennessee, and a bunch of others. Makes him the third player in this 25 class, which is shaping up nicely. You got the quarterback, Tavian St. Clair. My prediction, not going out on a limb here, is he will eventually be a 5-star quarterback by the time all's said and done in high school. Then wide receiver Javen Boggs, the wide receiver from Cocoa, Florida. He's a 3-star, but he's going to get a boost as these rankings evolve, So big recruit. Good to get a top 100 corner. Always need those. Question is, how many will we take? You still got Devin Sanchez out of Texas. He's high on Ohio State. You got Dorian Brew, who just moved to Texas. They play together. So he's obviously high on Ohio State after coming from out of Cleveland and moving down to the Houston area. So going to be interesting. I don't know if they'll take 3 corners. They'll probably try, but you got to have at least 2. So let's get into the breakdown. Instant reaction here from the Buckeye game. Don't forget tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, Sunday night. Sunday. 8 p.m. Eastern, me, Jeff, and Sean going live. We'll be getting their instant reaction, and we'll get you ready for the Penn State game. We hate Penn State. That's right. All right. So first initial thoughts on the offense overall. Ryan Day is going to blow a fucking gasket one of these days in the first half. He was freaking livid, like nonstop pissed off. I understand we're seeing the new emotional Ryan Day, but do you have to do that like for 3 hours, 3.5 hours of the game? Jesus. Anyways, hey, if it motivates the guys, gets them to do their jobs, then great. But I did see him motherfuck Josh Simmons after his penalty when he was coming off the field. He earned it. He deserves it. But anyways, third downs. Buckeyes did well converting third downs. What were we here? Third downs, 8 of 13. We'll take that. First half was actually much better. I think I had the first half stats here. The second half was a little sloppy, in my opinion. I'm sure you'd probably agree. But yeah, first half, we were 86%, 6 of 7. So tapered off a little in the second half. We were just 1 of 4. Did not have to go for any fourth downs, so that's good. That means you're converting third downs well, right? And then third and shorts. I like the Kyle Mack shove. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna coin that phrase and patent it, trademark it. The Kyle Mack shove with Caden Curry behind you. I think if Caden Curry is shoving you, you're gonna move where he wants you to, especially from behind. So so many things. Love the third down conversions, third and short, using Kyle McCord's feet running that sneak with the shove. And we got to talk about red zone, this red zone Devin package. I don't know. Seems pretty obvious what you're going to do when you bring in Devin Brown now, right? I understand there's two sides to this, of course, like everything. You're putting something else on tape for Penn State and future games, like the team up north, to prepare for, so I get it. Putting a lot of shit out there, just kind of muddying the waters maybe. But it does seem pretty obvious that they're running QB draw or a QB sweep or something like that with Devin in the game. They said after the game that they've been working on it for a while and we're just waiting on a time to break it out. So here we go. Just coincidentally, a week before the Penn State game. Just happened that way. It's coincidence, man. Shit happens. Penalties. You guys know I'm a stickler for all the fucking penalties. We had 9 this week, 8 or 9, whatever the hell it was. 7 on offense, 2 on defense. At 2 were on special teams, I believe, on the punt. And then all the delay of games. What do we have? Like 3 delay of game penalties. So again, in this game, it didn't hurt us. But you can't go into a matchup game with, the talent equated kind of game and commit this many penalties. You just can't do it. You can't win with it. So got to get that cleaned up. But let's get into the position groups here. Let's start with the quarterbacks. Kyle, I felt, executed the offense very well early on. He got his obligatory very first incompletion, which he seems to do every game, whether it's his fault or the receiver's fault. He did have a drop there from Fleming. And we're going to get into the drops. Mark my fucking words. We are going to talk dropsies. Now, I don't want to hear rain. Dude, I don't want to hear rain. I don't want to hear, it makes your gloves slick. Take the fucking gloves off. You got a towel, dry your hands off after every play. That's what we did. Anyways, but Kyle executed the offense very efficiently from first snap of the game. They started the game well, but finished a little, herky jerky, kind of loose with the ball, getting stripped. He took a shot on that corner blitz, but then came back the next time they ran it and spun out of there and tried to complete a deep ball. I think it was to Fleming down the middle, but still recognizing, okay, they tried this shit before. I'm not taking another helmet in the spine, so I'm going to pivot out and at least chuck one deep where only my receiver can get it or it goes incomplete. So good play there. I like it. And Devin, the red zone package, he brings the juice. Whatever flavor you want. Orange, grape, prune, whatever. He brings the juice, brings the heat, and has that fire, gets the guys hyped up and stuff. But again, he was loose with the ball too. If you want to get snaps, you got to take care of the ball. And that's one of the occasions when you saw Ryan Day lose his shit on the sideline right after that fumble. That should have been a touchdown drive. That should have been another touchdown drive. And speaking of drives, we put together some consistent drives here. We should have had, with that fumble, 4 touchdown drives in the first half. Bang, 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 bang. We had an 8-play, 69-yard drive for a touchdown, first drive of the game. Then 8 plays, 51 yards, touchdown. Then we had the long 11 plays, 72 yards with the fumble in the end zone by Devin. Then we come right back, still in the first half, 11 plays, 73 yards, TD. Then we had a 3-and-out punt, then halftime. Then we come out of the second half. Bang, bang, bang. 2 touchdown drives, 6 plays, 67 yards, 5 plays, 80 yards. The big play there. I think that was the Carnell Tate drive. Then a 3-and-out punt, then a 3-and-out fumble, then a 4-and-out punt, And then the 3-play final touchdown drive, 3 plays, 64 yards, the Brandon Innes big play there. And then we finished 3 and out with a punt. So, yeah, Devon's got to take care of the ball if they're going to continue to seriously use this package in short yardage, whether it's goal line, whatever, inside the 10. But if you're going to be loose with the ball, we're not going to run that shit. But let's talk running backs. We got to injuries, dude. Injuries. This is like freaking a replay of last year. Chip running the ball hard, then he goes down to an injury in the first half. It's like, Jesus, can we keep 2 dudes healthy at the same time? Hayden, so Dallin Hayden to the rescue, break glass in case of emergency, and he has to burn one of his 4 red shirts, one of his 4 games to still redshirt, which Ryan Day just said last week is the plan. But Hayden led the team in rushing. Look at these numbers, man. I'll show them. I'll speak them to you. You can't look at them. 11 attempts, 76 yards, a touchdown, had a long of 19, 6.9 yard average. But more than just that, he runs hard, hits the hole when it opens. He's patient back there, waits, then bang, hits the crease. He finds yards in short yardage. He finds, a little crease when maybe there's not much there. In short yardage, you saw that down around the goal line. And I really like Dallin Hayden. Fuck the red shirt is my opinion. Get him in there. He's running, at least in this game. Maybe this is just a bit of fool's gold. I don't know. But he looks like the best running back on the team right now. So I say get his ass in there and forget about damn red shirts. And I don't care. Mayan's not getting it done consistently. Trey's, inconsistent too. It's feast or famine with Trey. I know he could hit a home run on any play, but he's not getting those, 4, 5, 6, 7 yard carries. It's 2, maybe 3, -2, 0. Then maybe he hits a 60 yarder, but you can't bank on that. You don't know when that's coming. But anyways, X-Man gets a few carries, picked up 2 first downs. It's still the weapon, X-Man. No surprise here on this podcast. Pryor gets in there, shows he's definitely still rusty and is not really ready for gameplay, I don't think. Maybe he just needs more carries, but there's a reason why he was the last man in, and they used Xavier Johnson. So wide receivers, bad news first, way too many drops. Holy crap. I got 4 or 5 drops, 3 just by Marv. Now you're going to say the counter to that is, well, Marv drops a lot of balls because he's targeted with a lot of balls. Well, that's great. But if you're supposed to be the best player in the country, you think you would not have 3 or 4 drops in this game. Fleming had the one right off the bat. But Marv went for 6 catches, 13 targets, 105 and a touchdown. He had a long of 34. Did have some nice yak yards, 45 yards of yak. I like the way they used Marv in space. Got him the ball in like screens and short passes in space where he could go and do something with it. Thus, the yak yardage. First catch for Brandon Innes goes for a touchdown. How about that? Tayton Innes making big plays. Love it. Love to see the freshman getting in there, contributing, and Stover. Stover just makes plays. Snatches one in the end zone for a touchdown that was kind of behind him. Fleming had a drive where he was mugged a couple of times and the defender was called for PIs. And back to tight ends, no Joe Royer. Did not make the trip for some reason. Must be injured, but if anybody on the Buckeye beat is listening, hey, could you start asking Ryan Day about some of these injuries? Would love to get an update. I don't know. Even if he doesn't tell you like the whole truth or all the details, at least ask. Fuck. Anyways, offensive line. Ryan Day said after the game he felt they were rocking off the ball, and I would say they were rocking off the ball. Ryan Day, especially the first half, run game got back on track, looked solid. Part of it could be Dallin Hayden, hitting that hole when it opens, being patient. But all in all, the O-line executed a lot better. Obviously, Simmons is going to have his penalty. He's got to make up for last week. I don't think he had any. But then 2 penalties total on the O-line. So I don't have a lot of complaints. I'll look at the PFF grades, and Monday we'll do our offensive stats and grades breakdown, and we'll dig into that more deeply. But I'll be interested to see how the O-line fared in their run and pass blocking. Defense allowed some long drives here. Let me go back to that. So right out of the gate, Purdue had a 9-play, 44-yard drive. I would say just keep kicking field goals. I mean, it was 20-0 at the half, and you're still trying fucking field goals. Good call, dude. That kicker sucks. Anyways, 9 plays, 44 yards, field goal attempt missed. Then 3 plays, 3 and out, punt, 3 and out, punt, 3 and out, punt, 6 plays, 6 yards, punt. Then 10-play, 48-yard drive for a field goal attempt. 10 plays, 65-yard drive, field goal attempt. Then a 3 and out, punt, 3 and out, punt. Then the TD drive by something called a Huckabee or Maccabee or whatever the fuck that dude's name was. Anyway, props to him. So that was a 6-play, 20-yard drive. That was the Kyle fumble. Then a 6-play, 20-yard drive punt, turnover on downs on a 10-play, 39-yard drive. So, and then, last play of the game. So Buckeye defense, kind of a mixed bag here. I really can't answer why they have this. They led a long drive to start the game, then back-to-back long drives. Yeah, I can't explain this. Anyway, 10 plays. They had 3 drives of 10 plays and 1 drive of 9. Those were the 4 longest drives. I mean, props to the Buckeye defense. I mean, they allowed these long drives, but then bowed up in the red zone, right? So, and then, the kicker was our secret weapon, their kicker. Did well on third downs, got 3 sacks also. What'd they have here on third downs? They were 3 of 17. That's like 20%. Man. That's where we need to live, down around that area as a defense. 2 of 3 on fourth downs, though. Gotta tighten up on the fourth downs. Of course, once again, I should have led this when I talked about the penalties that once again, the Big Ten refs decide that they should be the stars of the show, not the actual players on the field. So some random penalties, unnecessary shit as usual, but it's what you get week in and week out with these clowns. But D-line, Tyleek is dominating, man. If he stays healthy, he is making himself some fucking money, man. And enjoy this season because he's probably gonzo. He's gone. Jack gets his first sack of the season, finally. Here we are in week 7, game 6. The roughing call was garbage. That was not a roughing the passer. He did not take an extra step. He was already diving when the dude let the ball go. Anyway, Caden Curry. Caden Curry needs more snaps. I like him opposite of Jack or opposite of JT. I think he's showing that, like Jim Knowles said, he plays with his hair on fire. He's just all gas, no brakes, whatever analogy or thing you want to say. Curry is a maniac out there, and he needs to play more. Didn't see a lot out of Kenyatta, but I like Curry mixing in there for Jack or JT. And linebackers, I feel that Steele is getting schemed up in coverage still, whether it's the scheme, his duties on a given play, whatever it is. You're seeing more snaps for Cody Simon. Once again, Steele's getting benched when he's blowing plays, and he makes plays here and there, but it's like, again, it's one of those feast or famine kind of guys. It's really frustrating. Cody tied with Tommy Eichenberg for the team leader in tackles this week. So Cody's getting in there, making plays. What do you have here? 8 total tackles, 5 solo, a TFL. Eichenberg, 8 total, 4 solo, 1 TFL. Boys brought the TFLs this week. He had 9 total TFLs. Sawyer 1.5, JT 1.5, Caden McDonald and Taiwan Malone each got a half later in the game. Mitchell Melton, I'd like to see more of him too, honestly. He's pretty twitched up, man. Linebackers, I think you're going to continue to see Cody eat away at Steele's snaps. And hey, CJ Hicks got in the game late for everybody that's got a hard on for CJ Hicks. And obviously it was garbage time in the fourth quarter. Corners, what can you say? These guys got the job done. They held this high-powered offense to what do we have here? Pass yards, 134 pass yards. They only had 15 first downs. Total plays, they had 70, but only 3.9 yards per or 3.7 yards per play, 9.6 yards per completion. They held Hudson Card to a 41% completion percentage. That's horrendous. Defense got it done. Allowed, they had 35 targets, allowed 14 total catches. That's a good number. They just had a couple drops. Did allow a big 35-yarder to Rice, but that was the longest pass play. And other than that, there was just a 15-yarder. The rest were all less than 10 yards total length. Had one big run from them motherfucking Maccabee, 21 yards. So, secondary got it done. No complaints. Denzel Burke, Ryan Day didn't have an update on his injury. He left the game late. He was taken into the tent, then taken to the locker room with the medical staff. So we'll be looking for an update this week on him. I definitely don't want to lose him for any period of time with Penn State next week, of course. But Jermaine Matthews filled in very well. Made some plays on special teams throughout the game, making tackles inside the 20. That dude's going to be a good one. Jermaine Matthews, 24. Did well filling in for Burke, but and Hancock was kind of targeted a little bit. He did allow 3 first downs on catches this week. So we need to tighten up his coverage there. Safeties, good game, 1 big play for 35. Ransom had a PI, but you're going to have that. Overall, I don't have any complaints about the safeties at all. Tackles, you had Sonny Styles with 3, 1 solo. Ransom 3 and 2 solos. So good job all the way around there by the safeties. So, excellent defensive effort holding this offense to under 300 yards, 257. Would like to tighten up that rushing defense a bit, but all in all, I don't have many complaints. They were 1 of 3 in the red zone. That was the touchdown, obviously. So, anyways, that's all I got for you today. Talk to you tomorrow or Sunday night, whichever comes first. Talk to you later. Go Bucks.